Hey guys, so I'm back. Your boy's back. Anyway, so it's good to see you guys again. I haven't been posting a whole lot with the videos because I've been busy and it's a long story. I might make a video of why I hardly post or why, this and that, but basically just long story short for now, I've been busy. I've kind of lost a little bit of motivation. I've been just trying to practice and getting better, focusing on myself, the priorities that I need to. Just, continue to get closer with God and seeking that purpose for my life. Just trying to get things straight. Not that I'm a bad person. I'm just want to make sure, that I'm heading in the right direction. I'm not trying to get confused with anything or something like that, and I'm not, just trying to keep myself away from social media. Anyway, I'm back, guys. It's good to see you all again. I'm really excited for this video. I just thought about something. For the longest, a lot of people have actually asked me, so how do you record your drums? Like, what software, what recording equipment do you use? And you should make a video on that, because I've gotten that before a lot. And today, I don't know. I was told, I don't know. Whenever I get the motivation and I have the confidence to go and edit it, because I can actually do it anytime. I don't know. But today, you're finally gonna get that video. And we're gonna try to make this short, long story short, because I'm running out of storage here. But so today we're gonna go ahead and make that video, and I'm gonna be showing you step by step in a short, simple way how I record and how I mix my sound and everything. So yeah, let's go ahead and get to it. And so here I got my before you start, make sure you have some kind of headphones connected. Here I have my Beats, because they have some good bass in them and you can really hear a clear sound out of them. Make sure you always have some high quality good headphones that you can really hear what you're mixing. That way. All right, so as you can see, I have a different outfit, but yes, make sure you have good quality headphones, meaning as in the Beats, you know what I mean? Because you can thank me later, because you'll hear and understand the sound that I'm talking about. Anyway, all right, shoot. Oh, I gotta turn my screen recorder on. I'll be right with you guys in 1 second.
2 hours later. So much later that the old narrator got tired of waiting and they had to hire a new one.
Alright, so we're back for the second time. So I don't know what happened. Clearly, I guess I had a problem with my screen recorder. It just made some weird noise. Anyway, so we're gonna try this one more time. All right, so let's play the preset and see what we have. Okay. All right, not bad so far, just by itself. So it sounds good, not too much, not too bad, but we can make it sound better. And what we're gonna do is, I feel like I'm forgetting something. I'll be right back. You guys can hear my voice better. Okay. There we go. I think we're getting somewhere now. So, if now that you guys can hear me a little bit better, let's go ahead and play this preset. Let's continue out. So, like I said, we're gonna go over here and I'm gonna add a preamp. Basically, in the BandLab, it's called multi-amp. And then what it does is it adds a basically like a cabinet, kind of like, what do you call it, like muffling it, making it sound like it's like mono. You want to take that off. You don't want to add that in there. So exit that out of that and bring the drive down to 0.9. So let's play it again, see what we have now. A little bit better. You hear more of that. So you hear more of like it sounds, it gives you like a natural drum sound. Like it doesn't sound like it's coming out through the rest of the room. It sounds more in like it's caged in. You know what I mean? Like it gives you that normal sound, but we want to change it. Usually what I like to do is I like to get a little more of that cymbal sound. So add it to a channel 1 XTC channel 1, and like and I guess that makes it like mono, or like, so you either want to make it mono or stereo, but I like to make it mono because that gives it like a normal quieter sound. If when I add it to channel 2, I feel like it gives it too much reverb and it doesn't sound like, it doesn't give me that natural low to high frequency. I feel like the cymbals are too far out in the room, and they're not like, they don't sound like they're coming in through a mic. So so we're gonna do that, and I'm gonna play now and show you what I do from here. So I'm gonna play one more time. We're gonna turn up the bass to about 5.3, and then let's see, I want to add a little bit of mids. So I want to add a little bit of mids, right, to it. I want to take down some of the presence. I'll bring that enough presence to 4.8, and then now add a slight bit of treble. That. So basically, it's gonna sound kind of the same. You're really not gonna hear a big difference. So you'll hear a little bit, but you'll hear more of it starts really once we got that done, let's just say I'm gonna add a high pass filter. So you go to tone, multi-filter, and then you see it's in low pass. You want to add a high pass filter. And I like to bring the high pass to, I think I'll bring it to about 81. Or 80. 80 should be good. No. Yeah, it's too high. I don't want to bring it anywhere past 81. Because if I bring it anywhere past 81, I hear too much cymbals, and it's like, it really hurts the mix. Like it's bleeding too much. So, you know, you don't want to add too much of a high pass. You only want to add enough. 80 will be okay. 80 should be good. And then I want to bring up the Q a little bit, since it's going to give me a lot of cymbals. When I'm done, it's probably going to, you know. So we're going to bring up the Q a little bit. I'll start at, let's say, I'm going to start at 1.4. So let's see what we have now here. That's not bad. Now, see, you're already hearing a little bit better now. So I'm gonna add it. Now here's where the fun starts. I'm gonna add the compressor. So I'm gonna set a high attack. I'm gonna set it to about, I want to set it to 16. And then only bring a little bit of release. Bring it to about 685. And then bring up a high squeeze. Because you really want to get that nice reverb, and you don't want that noise gate to be like, you know, taking out too much, or you can't really hear the bass, you can't hear a tom, you can't hear the cymbal. It sounds too close and too blocked. So, and then you want to bring up the ratio to about 3.0. So let's play that now, and it'll sound a little bit different. You'll hear more of that. You'll hear a little bit of compression now and there. I'll take it off. You hear that? Hear the difference, right? So now we're gonna add. Now I'm gonna add a EQ, right? This is like where this is what kind of like gives the drums more sound. What I do to make it, to help us to sound better, to give more of that, like out of my bass, to give it more of that, take away that punch and give it more like attack, or I want to give it a little, I want to make it less punchy, and I want to bring a little more of that high end. So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So we're going to start at the 200s, bring the 200s down up to about, I like to bring it down to, I'll bring it to about 8.4. I usually like to do about 8.5, but I'm going to do 8.4 today, just to give you, start off easy. Okay, you know, but, okay, there we go, 8.4. And then now the 400s, this is where all the boxiness is at. So you want to cut out that out as much as possible. 200 is like mid, is like lows, but it also gives you a lot of boxiness too. And I like to cut all that out because I don't like a lot of that low end. I like to give it more of a better sound. I realized, because I used to make one mistake. I realized as when I started cutting out the 200s, I was always afraid to, because I thought I was going to get too much high frequencies out of my cymbals, or it was going to bleed too much. But then I found a way, and I realized, and as I started watching more videos, I learned how mixing works more. So how to like really mix down my overheads and give it a natural, like give it that natural sound without it bleeding too much. You add a high pass filter, and if it has too much of that high frequency in there, you bring up a high Q. That way, that brings kind of like the low mids in there, so that way it doesn't bleed too much. It takes all that harshness out of the cymbals. So I like to bring the 400 to about, let's say 4.1. I like to bring about 4.1. So now we're gonna play through. And then we're gonna bring up the, what do you call it? The lows on the hundreds. And then now we're gonna bring up the mids a little bit. I'll bring it up to about 3.0. And then the 1.6, that's gonna be the upper mids, low to upper mids. Bring it no later than 2.2, and then bring it out 3.2, because that's like where all the high frequency is at. So I like to set it at about 0.5. I'll try it at 0.6. Let's see where that takes us, because sometimes I get a little bit too much harshness bleeding out of my cymbals, and I want to cut that as much as possible. So now that we know, bring up the volume a little bit. Now that we know how it's gonna sound, I might be able to bring down my Q a little bit, and then give it a little more of the high frequency, because it doesn't sound like it's bleeding too much. So now once we're done with that, you already hear how it sounds with all that EQ and compression. That's what you want to get out of your drums. That's how you want your drums to sound. We went from that natural sound to it sounding like the way it is now. So We're almost done here. Add a little bit of more compression. And this is what kind of makes the drums louder, but it still gives it a nice depth sound, you know, the sound that you want. I'm gonna bring up the I'm gonna turn down the threshold because I don't want it to the more you bring the threshold down, the kind of like the quieter it gets, because I don't want it to be too loud, or I don't want to have too much reverb. I still want it to have a good amount of reverb where the noise gate is not gonna like push through too much in the mix. So I like to usually bring the threshold to about 8.7, between 9 or such and such. Bring down the attack on here because I already have a high attack on, and I bring that to about 10, and then I bring the ratio down to about 4.6, because the more you bring up your release, and the more punchiness or the more low end you're gonna get. The lower that you bring it down, the more the less sustain you're gonna have. So I'm gonna bring down a low knee. I'm gonna give it about 2.3, and then so now let's hear what we have now. So that doesn't sound bad. So now is where we add the reverb. So this is how I add, you guys hear how I have so much reverb in my drums. This is the reason why. Take that off. So take that off. So it's got a good amount of reverb there, but I think that's a little too much. So we're gonna bring the mix down to about 2.1, and then we're gonna bring the size of the room, bring that down also. I'm gonna give it to about probably 3.0. That way you can still hear the echo at the end, and then bring down the color, the tone of it, give it to about 6.1. So now let's hear what we have with all that. See, it took down the reverb a little bit. So, and now we want to add a noise gate. Now this is where you have to be careful. You don't want to bring the noise gate too far up, because I used to make that mistake and you could barely hear my drums. Like I couldn't hear my cymbal, I couldn't hear my kick. It would sound like it's blocked too much. So what you want to start off with bringing the release down as much as you can. I usually like to bring it to about 47.1. You want to do it anywhere between 45 and 50. That's like the range that they suggest. But if it's still not giving you a good amount of sound, I'd say try bringing the release up, bring up a higher attack. And if that still doesn't work, then you go to the threshold. But you don't want to just do that. You want to try certain things first in the middle, in the process of doing it. So have it about 47.1, and we're going to bring up the release to enough to where you can still hear the drums. And the noise gate isn't pushing through too much. So bring it up about 652, and now we're gonna play that, and still sounds like it's too much. So we're gonna bring up the attack to about 15, and it doesn't sound as bad now. I might bring the threshold down a little more. Bring it down to about 47.8. That should be good right there. You should get a good mix through that, because I already have a high squeeze. I have that studio reverb, which gives you a good amount, like you guys saw. So, but yeah, that's I think it's basically it for the mix. I don't really add a whole much of anything else. That's really all I do to my drums. So you guys hear the difference of if I turn everything off versus adding all these effects on there. This is how I mix my drums. This is how everything is done, guys. A lot of people say that my drums sound good. Like I don't plan on keeping this kind of, program forever. I'm hoping when I have enough to hopefully maybe get a MacBook, I want to invest in like something like, let's say, GarageBand, or I tried Pro Tools, but all these things I have to pay for. So, I'm using this for now in the meantime while I can. And then hopefully soon, because soon I'm going to be getting that new drum set that I've been looking for. I'm going to invest in an audio interface and one of those rolling sampling kits. Oh man, and then I'm gonna get some triggers. My drums are gonna change so much, and they're gonna sound even better than they are right now. Like that, I feel like my mix is just getting better, but they're just gonna continuously get better, especially with the new drums. I got a lot of new things, and you guys are gonna hear a big difference on with my mix on the channel soon. But I can't wait till I get GarageBand, because I know with GarageBand you can do each channel separately. Like you can EQ the overheads, you can EQ the kick, the snare, and the toms all at one, and you don't have to do it all through one channel and one mix. This is like the best I have, but this is what I do, and I try to get it down in the best that I could, make it sound the best that I could, to where it'll still give you like a live or a nice professional sound. So this is what we have now. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play the whole thing through, and then we're gonna take it from. I'm gonna turn some of these off so that way you hear the difference. And that's it. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to save it, and then there's one more step, and I'm going to get back once this is done saving and I finally get it up. I'll get back to you guys and show you exactly what it is. Okay, so it looks like we got that done with. Now we're finally on to the last part, where all this mix that sounds really good, it makes it sounds twice as better. So I'm gonna actually show you guys I have a screen recorder here to show you guys again how it works and what exactly we have here. So oh, camera's a little bit foggy. Anyway, so let's play this, and here, this is the original. So what you want to do is, we have 4. You have a universal, which is CD quality, fire, tape, basically like it has a tape recording, or clarity. Let's try the clarity, see what we have. Let's try CD quality. Yeah, I think I'm gonna go with clarity. It gives it a good sound. I like the CD quality, but that's more like, I feel like it gives it too much punch or sustain. So we're gonna add a little bit of clarity, make it sound better. You don't want it to be too high, but it doesn't have too much either. So let's apply that. Let's save it. This is it, guys. This is how I mix my drums. I might I might have it in a recording, because those who follow my Spotify know that I release drum recordings or songs sometimes every now and then to Spotify or Apple Music, you know, all those. So if you want me to release this to Spotify, the mix, let me know. I'll release it to Spotify from the CD quality, the universal. Just send me a comment or just whatever. But yes, this is it. This is how I mix my drums. This is what I do. This is how all my videos are made, how everything that comes out through my mics. And like I said, this is only temporarily for now. When I start getting my sampling pad, when I get that mic and an audio interface, everything's gonna change. And when I have a new program, you're gonna start hearing different drum sounds because I'm gonna have triggers and everything. But anyway, guys, thank you guys for watching. If I know I talked a lot, and I know this was a lot, if you bared with me, thank you so much. I love you all. Don't forget to feel free to like, share, subscribe, and let's spread the word, spread positivity, bring others closer to Jesus, and continue to spread God's word. Thank you guys. I love you so much. As always, I will see you guys again soon and in the next video. Have a wonderful day. God bless.